Time for just one more thing. Let's make this look at least a little bit better. That static project that I gave you has a bunch of CSS here. So we can just kind of methodically go through and style each component. Start with the sidebar. There we go. What do these mean? So the sidebar itself, we have these rules. What is this? Never mind that. Let's look at the H1. So the H1 has a white color and stuff. What does this rule mean? What's this selector mean? Anybody guess? What do you think? Every child of sidebar. Yep. We'll give this padding too. That's exactly what it means. So that's a wild card, and this is a child selector. So our sidebar right now, real boring looking. All we have is the display name. But if we looked in the static version at what was here, we have static HTML. Let's find the sidebar here. Okay, the sidebar is all of this. It's this aside element. So if I just copy this, if I copy, where does it end? Here it ends. Aside. Let's just copy this aside element. Let's just throw this in here. I'll return that instead. Still has a class of sidebar. There's my username, so I'll just throw that in there in place. Props dot user, thanks, dot display name. This avatar thing, let's not worry about that right now. Let's just put this in there as an empty div. Let's not worry about it. And it's going to complain about having href going to hash, but I don't care. We don't have any others. Here we go. Invalid property class, right? We need a class name, so that's all over the place in here. So let's do a quick find and replace. Let's search for class equals, set it to class name. I will paste in this entire component when I'm done. Change all that. So it's the same kind of stuff we did in homework yesterday, right? Then we just want some styles on this. So we use the same trick that we did in main. We'll make a new object down here, call it styles. Const styles equals an object. And we'll try to put all the stuff from that sidebar CSS in here. But this applies to different elements in here. So I'm going to have a few keys in here. Let's have one for the sidebar itself. And I'll just set that to all this stuff. So then I just need to make it JavaScripty. So all my semicolons become commas. I'll use my multiple cursors trick, hold down Alt, put it at the end. There we go, some commas. These all need to be quoted. So if I just highlight what I want to quote and hit the quote key, it'll quote it. There we go. Quote. Quote. Double click, quote. Double click, quote. And background color needs to be camel cased, and so does flex direction. And that style I want to apply to the sidebar itself. So I will just, up here, say style equals styles.sidebar. Why not? There we go. Looking better already. What else do we have in there? Every child of sidebar should have this padding. Okay. So I'll add another style in here called children. I'll add these two, this one style in there. So what are its children? User info here, the H1 and the nav. We've got a separate rule for the H1, so we'll leave it alone for right now. So how about this user info? Let's just add style equals styles.children. Why not? And this nav style equals styles.children. Not like these links, right? Those aren't children. Those are nested inside children. So it's only user info, the h1, and the nav that applies to. Now these aren't rooms here isn't hugging the side so much, neither is my user info. My h1 is, because my h1 I have a separate rule. Where was that? h1, we have color, font size, and margin top. So inside sidebar, in my styles object, I'll just add h1. Add these rules. My semicolons need to become commas. I need to quote these. Not 0. I can leave that as is. Font size needs to be camel case, and so does margin top. And this rule I still need to apply, so I find my h1 here. Say style equals styles.h1. See what I'm doing there? So I have a single object that holds all my styles, and then each of these can be applied to the style prop on an element to actually style it that way. Okay, it changed to white, but it did not. It still need the padding on it, right? So I could just put this padding on the h1 as well. Why not? There we go. It's a slightly better looking sidebar. My room list is kind of ugly, but oh well. That'll work for now. Let's save that. Style sidebar. Cool.